Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really focusing in on Amazon Redshift, and specifically this idea that just knowing your basic SQL, well, it's not really cutting it anymore if you want to get the most out of it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Um, Redshift isn't just any database. It's, high performance, built for the cloud, designed for heavy-duty analytics. Relying only on, standard SQL means you're probably leaving a lot of performance on the table.
Yeah,
And maybe limiting your career path, too.
totally. I mean, Redshift is often the engine behind so much these days, right? Dashboards, big analytical jobs, sometimes even real-time stuff. But with data getting bigger and bigger, just, writing a select isn't enough. Companies need folks who can actually optimize, manage, architect these solutions.
Precisely. It's shifted. It's now about understanding performance tuning, how to manage different workloads hitting the cluster at once, and using tools like Redshift Spectrum effectively. These are skills that go, way beyond just basic query writing.
Okay, so let's break that down. What are those key skills, the ones that really separate a standard user from a true Redshift pro?
I'd say there are three core areas you really need to nail down: performance tuning, workload management, WLM, and Redshift Spectrum.
Right. Let's start with performance tuning. Sounds like it's deeper than just making sure your SQL syntax is correct.
Oh, much deeper. It's really about understanding how Redshift works internally. Can you read an explain plan?
Uh-huh.
That plan tells you exactly how Redshift is executing your query, where the time's being spent, potential bottlenecks. It's like a diagnostic tool.
Okay.
And then there's table design, choosing the right distribution keys and sort keys. That alone can sometimes make queries run, 100 times faster for certain workloads. It's that significant.
Wow, 100x. Seriously.
Yeah, it sounds crazy, but picking the right keys aligns the data with how you query it. Then you have things like materialized views.
Right, like pre-computed results.
Exactly. For common, complex queries, they can be lifesavers. And don't forget basic maintenance running VBUE array COMs and analyze EE operations keeps tables healthy and statistics up to date for the query planner.
Okay, so mastering this tuning stuff, what's the payoff? Beyond just, feeling smarter about Redshift.
Well, the most obvious win is faster queries. Your reports run quicker, your dashboards load faster. That's huge for anyone waiting on that data.
Yeah, slow reports are a common pain point, definitely.
And it also means less strain on your cluster. Less strain often translates directly to lower AWS costs because you're using the compute resources more efficiently.
Lower costs, faster insights. Sounds like a no-brainer. Okay, second skill. Workload management, WLM. What's the story there?
Think of WLM as like traffic control for your Redshift cluster. It lets you define rules for how different types of queries get resources.
Traffic control, okay, like
Yeah,
setting
sure.
priorities.
Exactly. You can set up different queues, maybe one for critical dashboard queries, another for long-running ETL jobs, maybe one for ad hoc analysis. You allocate memory and concurrency slots to these queues so, analyst running a complex exploratory query doesn't suddenly block the CEO's dashboard refresh.
Ah, okay, so you're preventing resource conflicts before they happen, being proactive.
Precisely. It helps manage concurrency, prevents runaway queries from hogging everything, and generally leads to a much more stable, predictable environment, especially when lots of people are using it.
Makes sense. Essential for busy clusters.
Okay.
All right, third area, Redshift Spectrum. This one lets you query data in S3 directly without loading it.
Yeah, that's the gist of it. Spectrum is super powerful for extending your analytics reach beyond the data physically stored in Redshift. It's often much more cost-effective for querying massive datasets stored in S3, like historical archives or data lake tables.
So how does that work, roughly? You don't load it, but Redshift knows about it.
You define what are called external schemas and external tables. Basically, you're telling Redshift, hey, there's data over here in S3 in this format, partitioned like this.
Okay.
Then you can query it using standard SQL, just like any other Redshift table, but you need to be smart about it. Using efficient file formats like Parquet or ORC is key.
Right, because Spectrum charges based on data scan in S3.
Exactly. So good partitioning strategies on your S3 data and using columnar formats dramatically reduce the amount of data scanned, which keeps your costs down and speeds up queries.
So Spectrum is ideal for that less frequently accessed, but still potentially valuable data sitting out in S3.
Perfect for that. Or for joining warehouse data with massive data sets in your data lake without having to import everything. It shows you understand the broader AWS data ecosystem.
Okay, this is super clear. We've covered tuning, WLM, Spectrum. Let's talk impact. For the data professionals listening, what does mastering these skills actually mean for their careers?
Oh, it's a huge differentiator. It moves you from someone who just uses Redshift to someone who can optimize and manage it. That's the path to more senior roles. Think data engineer, cloud architect, technical lead. These roles often come with, significant salary bumps because the demand for deep cloud data warehouse skills is really high.
Right. It signals a higher level of technical competence to employers.
Absolutely. You're not just fetching data, you're making the whole platform run better.
And what about for the business leaders or tech managers listening? Why should they care if their teams have these skills?
For them, it translates directly to business value. Faster dashboards mean faster decisions. A stable Redshift environment means less downtime, more reliable analytics. Plus, the cost optimization aspect is huge. Efficient Redshift usage, smart use of Spectrum that can really help control the AWS bill. It provides confidence, that their data platform is robust and scalable.
Fantastic. So it really boils down to this. If you're serious about working with data in AWS, moving beyond that basic SQL layer in Redshift is, well, it's essential.
Couldn't agree more. That's where you unlock the real power and efficiency.
For all of you listening who want to dig even deeper, we've put together a full blog post over on our site. It gets into more detail on tuning techniques, WLM configuration, Spectrum best practices, and some career tips too. And look, if your organization needs help finding people with these Redshift skills, or if you're looking to level up yourself, Curate Partners is an excellent resource to check out. That's all the time we have for this deep dive. Thanks so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Keep exploring, keep learning in this space. It's constantly evolving. We'll catch you next time.